Hello, Matthew Williams here, bringing you a quick video to debunk Mr. Robbert van der Broek's UFO footage. I've given it a bit of time to see if anybody could actually be asked to do what I'm just about to do here, and it seems like nobody could be bothered. Maybe that's because they just don't take Robbert very seriously, which is quite likely because I don't know many people who take Robbert very seriously, but here we go. This is how simple it is to debunk his footage. Okay, all you have to do is stabilize it so you can see what's going on, and then everything starts to take on a whole new light. So if you stabilize based on holding the object, the UFO, in one place, then you end up with footage that looks like this. Hang on a second, let me just press play. There you go. So you stabilize the footage and you can see. Now look at the clouds. Okay, look at the clouds. The important thing to notice here now is I've stabilized the UFO, but look at the clouds. Look at the clouds. Now, do you notice that the clouds are basically going like this? As he holds his camera, like this, he's basically wobbling, yeah? So the clouds are doing this. But look at the UFO. It doesn't wobble in line with the clouds. It stays perfectly still. Okay, which is impossible, because if he's filming the UFO with the clouds, as the clouds go like that, the UFO will go like that, but the UFO stays still whilst the clouds go like that. So this is obviously a superimposition, and we will zoom in to show you now. And when we zoom in, it gets painfully embarrassing, because here we go, it's 100%. Let's play it for you. Okay, see if you can spot it. Watch the clouds. The clouds dance around, yeah, and the object stays steady. Okay, so that's the first thing. Now let's go in even closer. Okay, let's have a look at this object at 200%. Okay, first thing to notice is it has a cutout around it. It has a white cutout. Have a look now. Can you see the white cutout around the object? Which means it's been superimposed. Okay, it's a superimposition effect. Okay, now there are moments in this which, if you're very careful and you can look, you can see that the clouds move like this, but the object stays in one place. And there are some painfully obvious moments where the object is obviously bouncing around where it shouldn't be. Okay, so that aside, let's move on to the next piece, which is quite embarrassing as well. Okay, now you can see the cutout even more painfully obvious here. I mean, look at this. Look at this white cutout it's got here, which is a bit embarrassing, you know, but let's have a look at the motion in this piece. Okay, I'll zoom back a bit so you can have a better look. Okay, okay, now this is the real humdinger, because in this one they've attempted to emulate the out of focus artifacts that are appearing in the camera, because the camera goes out of focus, so they have to emulate. They're trying to blur in the same frames. They're trying to blur the object as well. But look, strangely, there are two balls of light in the distance. Now these are the big giveaway. Really big giveaway. Now I think Robbert is trying to sort of impress people, like, look, balls of light, strange balls of light. Okay, right, well, okay, let's have a look at these balls of light. Now what do? They bounce around. Okay, they get lighter, darker, and in some frames, look what they do. In some frames, because of the motion of the camera, you see double imaging. Okay, now funnily enough, there's no double imaging on the other pieces of footage over here. Now, okay, this is what I'm saying. They're trying to emulate the blurriness of this bit. here. Okay, what they failed to do is to match it properly, because what you can see is you can see things like this lamp, okay, and see how it blurs differently. Okay, so see there's a different blur going on. So when we get one of these, okay, we get a different blur here. Okay, we get a complete smudge. It's smudged from left to right. There's no gaps in between like on this one. Okay, so let's find another one. There's no separation on that bit there. Okay, so this one's got a large smudge going across, large, and there's hardly anything up here. So how come this one and this one are separate? How come the same amount of smudging and blurring should be applied to both objects, yet it isn't? Okay, so obviously these are very different in the way they're behaving. Look at this one here. You know, look at that there. It's completely different. So, you know, so I think we've got something here which shows that they're trying to emulate the same sorts of smudges and blurs, but it's obviously not the same thing. So there we are. Now look at the amount of distance of the smudge here. Look at the distance there is quite large, isn't it? And it's only a very small smudge there. So this one again, smudge is wide there, smudge is small here. So they're two different things that have been superimposed on top of each other, and one is trying to mimic the other, but this one is showing you something different to this one, and they should both be exactly the same. Okay, so that's what we're looking for here, and they're clearly very different. You know, we've got another one there, you know, so nearly done. They've nearly got it, but they haven't quite. You know, so this is the thing. So let us go out now and have a look at the UFO, because this is kind of interesting as well. Look at the smudging there. Okay, now if we concentrate just on the UFO, okay, let's have a look a little bit closer. Now we're going to compare the smudging on these objects to the smudging of the UFO. Okay, so let's have a look. Okay, so there to there, smudging, no smudging. Here I'd like to show you a couple of frames that show that the UFO should be going out of focus in step with the other objects in the scene. Now, because it's all being shot with one camera, the UFO and the other object should be going out of focus the same. But what you see is the UFO goes out of focus differently to the other objects at different times, which means they weren't shot on the same camera. You know, one's been superimposed on top of another, and they've tried to match it, but they've missed the timing, so that they, instead of going focus, 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 you know, it goes focus, 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 focus. And we can see it quite clearly here now. So let's go through step frame by frame. Things to look out for are this object, which is quite sharp. So watch out for this object against the UFO. So you may have to rewind this a few times to have a look. But so watch now. The UFO's in sharp contrast, and so is the tree. Okay, so as we go through, the tree's gone a little bit out. Let's go back one frame. Now it seems to match it. It goes out as well. Okay, but then the tree goes out, but the UFO doesn't. Look, the tree goes out of focus, UFO stays exactly the same. See? Major blur there, no blur on the object. Okay, so they forgot to do it. They did it back here. They managed to get it here. See, this one goes out of focus, and so does the UFO. Right? But then you move forward, 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 and that one goes out. This goes out of focus, and this stays in focus. Okay, same thing. Now they both go out of focus now because they seem to have caught up, you see, but it's too late now. We've spotted the fakery, we've spotted it. Okay, so, you know, and this seems to be coming back into focus whilst this is still out of focus. So, you know, they're putting a smudge effect on there. And then let's have a look what happens. Okay, there's quite a lot of weird smudging. Now, there we go. Okay, now why does this come into focus but that doesn't seem to really change very much? You see, between there and there, there's hardly any change. So why? Why would that be? Yeah, surely if that goes out of focus, there's another one. Look at this. This goes terribly out of focus again. Look at that up there. Let's go back a frame. All right, watch now. Terribly out of focus. And this one remains the same. So, I mean, this is just super poor. And it's a dead giveaway because there should be an exact match in things going out of focus. So it's a dead giveaway.